pull up
Trying
the
to
picture.
purposely show her cleavage. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
I don't know if you girls remember when you were 12, but I wasn't playing in this league as a 12-year-old. Everybody is, maturing at different rates. And some of you girls, when you were 12, maybe this is what was happening for you. But I can guarantee you that none of your moms were like, let's get a push-up bra for that, okay?
Beyonce pimps out daughter? Question mark. Yeah, so I came across this little clip, and I felt like this clip put into words what I was thinking when I first saw like Blue Ivy in that particular blue dress and everything like that. So I think we should just play that clip and then get into what we think.
While we're waiting, if you're watching this either live or afterwards, make sure you like and subscribe to see more videos.
Yay.
Turn on that notification. Follow us on the TikTok too.
Yep.
TikTok,
Instagram,
everything.
Substack.
Everything. Get some quality tea.
Get you some merch.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And don't pimp out your daughters.
Don't pimp out. Please don't.
Please don't.
I forgot she was 12.
No, me too. That's why, like, when the clip plays, I'm like, oh yeah, she is 12.
I'm like, dang, I didn't look like that till I was about at least 16, maybe 15.
19.
Yeah.
Man, at 12, y'all remember, what was it called? Bobby Jack?
Bobby Jack.
Wait, that's what I was in, okay?
Lisa Frank.
Glasses, braces. Yes, exactly. Maybe lip gloss. Maybe some small hoop earrings. Small.
She needs to be playing with Tamagotchis.
Tamagotchis. I wanted a Tamagotchi. No, for real though. We were like YMCA, like just 12, what, 6th grade? Yeah. We were like YMCA running around.
I literally had acne, braces, glasses, a stiff ponytail.
All of the above.
Like,
heavy on the stiff. It ain't moving
heavy
nowhere.
on
It's staying there.
Not stiff.
Like, where is her stiff ponytail? That is a rite of passage. Like, no, she cannot skip steps. No, I don't care if you're a celebrity. Go through some things first. That's ridiculous.
Shout out to Mom Prophet.
Hello, mother-in-law.
She said, way to fill the gap, ladies. So, good job.
Good job, Imani.
But I am not.
Right?
All right, so let's get into this clip.
Okay. Can
Look
you
at her.
just go
I'm
to
sorry,
Google?
I didn't. Oh my god! I was about to say, look at her chest. That's terrible.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Like,
You are not supposed to be
That's all
adorning that
pushed up.
area.
yeah.
Like,
When I saw that, I was like, oh, she looks like 21. But she's 12.
I at least thought she was 16. I was like, oh, she's probably like 16. Oh, okay, fine. I'll give it that. 12?
Nah, even at 16, sis. I don't know, girl.
No, I'll give it to a celebrity as, okay, that makes sense. I'm not doing that at 16.
Mm-hmm. Oh, heck no. The devil's alive.
And that face of makeup,
Child, listen.
No,
at 16, I could barely wear some mascara, and that was it.
Right? Mascara and lip gloss.
Right.
Yeah,
No lipstick.
mascara and lip gloss. That was it for me. Yep. I was trying to think if there's anything else. Nope. I can get my nails done.
Yep,
That's
nails. Mm-hmm.
Right.
But like not even like acrylics, just like gel polish.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't even need acrylics because my nails grew. So it was like gel polish. That's all I needed. Yeah.
And I saw it, I was
That's
just
crazy.
like, wow.
What's going on
My
with
brain is still trying
We
to
hear
comprehend.
it.
Okay, there we go.
What'd you say? Something.
Oh, I was trying to say my brain is still just trying to comprehend how at that young age. I don't even have really a response. I'm like, what?
Like when I picture
what?
like when I
They
picture
set her
like
up.
12-year-old wearing a dress, I picture like a long sleeve kind of dress, like a long sleeve, like crew style dress.
Why
I
are
should
you
pull up
trying
the
to
picture.
purposely show her cleavage? I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
All right, here we go.
With Blue Ivy. Now, I don't know if you girls remember when you were 12, but I wasn't playing in this league as a 12-year-old. Everybody is, maturing at different rates. And some of you girls, when you were 12, maybe this is what was happening for you. But I can guarantee you that none of your moms were like, let's get a push-up bra for that. Because even though you're 12, I want you to look like you're 21. And I want to go ahead and speed up this boring part of your life called childhood. God, when'll that be over, right? Push-up bra. Everywhere you go from now on, we're going to go strapless with a push-up bra. Because we got to push those babies up. Because real life is calling. And the sooner we can objectify you, because that's what's going to happen anyway in life, the better, right? Like, you can't learn any younger, so... Crazyville is what I have to say to you right now.
That was wild.
I literally found a picture of me at 14 at my homecoming in 9th grade, and I'm like, she still looks older than me.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't even think I wore like a strapless until homecoming, like
Yeah.
10th or 11th grade.
And my heels, like kitten, tiny.
Yeah, for real.
Pumps.
Like, my God, I can't. It's so crazy. I don't know.
Let's get a male's perspective. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, I think it's just kind of crazy that, especially knowing how guys think, and she's about to enter that phase of her life. I mean, I'm sure she's in some hoity-toity private school, if not homeschooled, but even still, you're getting to that age where guys are going to become horn dogs, and literally that's all they're going to think about. And then having a dad and a father, Jay-Z, who basically that was his life, was, running the streets. That's how he came up before he was a rapper. Had plenty of women, or access to plenty of women at least. Cheated on his wife, who made one of the greatest albums of all time about it. And then so it's just like, why are you subjecting your daughter to the same objectivity that you were rapping about? Like, why would you want your daughter to, like, the funny thing is, Nas, who Jay-Z and Nas had one of the probably the most famous beef in rap history. Nas had a song about daughters, or about his daughter, basically, and I think it's called Daughters. And he's basically saying, like, man, like, I used to run through women and I used to think like this, and then I have a daughter and I'm like, man, I would basically, I don't want my daughter to be subjected to what I thought about, even though I know that she is going to be. But it's like, it makes you, it gives you this perspective of, oh man, like, will I be able to protect my daughter? Right? Or knowing of how guys operate, how smooth they can be, how beguiling they can be. And so to let your daughter present herself in that way, to where she's easily objectified, to where she's more of a target than she already is, because she's famous, because of who her parents are, and guys might just want something from her more so than they already would. I think it's just nasty. I think it's nasty.
Yeah, and that's something like my dad would tell me and my sister a lot, is like those thoughts, and be like, okay, guys are going to do this, guys are going to say these things to you, so you got to watch out, and I'm saying this from experience and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just interesting that, like, as a dad, like, you're okay with your daughter presenting herself that way.
Yeah, it's super
But
cool.
hey, that's it. This the same man who calls himself Hove. You know what I mean?
Right,
So it's like, you
right,
can't
right.
expect too much from it, Like, good googly moogly child. That whole family, we gotta lift up in prayer. Amen.
seriously, and I think about how the culture is right now and how you got people that are, you know, yeah, people obviously in the comments that are like, this is so not appropriate for her age. And then you got the ones that are, um, against that and saying things like, well, we should blame the men that are looking at her that way, not the girl who's wearing it. And I'm like, that just truly shows the distortion of the enemy, because the word literally talks about the purpose of clothing, and that it's not just fabric, it's an adornment. It's words, it's you communicating your position
Intentions.
in life.
Yeah.
Your intention, your position, your status. That is all a cultural language that is spoken through your clothing. And so if you see someone that is dressed like Blue Ivy was in that dress, what she's communicating to you is that she is grown and ready to take on adult conversation, adult responsibility, adult situations. That is what that outfit says to me, and what it says to the majority of people. And so, yes, I mean, at the end of the day, okay, you're going to have men that look at women whatever type of way, regardless of how they're dressed. Fine. But you also have a responsibility. And that responsibility shouldn't be on Blue Ivy. It should be on her parents who have decided to put her in that outfit, And so there's such a distortion with what clothing is perceived to be and what it actually is. And they do that so that they're able to do what they want, essentially, with no responsibility, and it's sad.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to how you present yourself, what we were talking about earlier. It matters. It shows what you have respect for, what are you giving reverence to. And so that outfit is definitely communicating, like, yeah, I'm not certain I have, well, for her parents, it's like they don't have necessarily any respect for their daughter's body. In a sense, it's like, yeah, we're okay with her showing off what she has to offer to the world, even though she's only 12 years old. She's not even of marrying age, or of the age where she should really even be thinking about getting into serious relationships. And so, yeah, it's like she's taking on too much at a young age and subjecting herself to, these, like, she's subjecting herself to objectivity unnecessarily. And then you also have the case where there's countless number of child, actors and, children who are famous, who grow up and they turn out just mentally just wayward. And that's because they're under so much scrutiny. They get objectified. They're around people in the industry that are snakes, or that are people who are just looking to, pervs that are just looking to take advantage of them. And not saying that Beyonce and Jay-Z aren't protecting their children in that way, right? But why offer up your daughter in that manner? It's almost like an offering, in a sense.
It is.
And so, yeah, I just think it's just kind of it's very, very sad in a lot of different ways, from a lot of different angles, because not only you're teaching your daughter that that's okay, right? And she's also teaching other girls her age that this is okay.
Yeah.
So now other girls are going to be like, well, Blue Ivy, I saw her, and Beyonce, you love Beyonce, that's your queen, mommy. Why can't I have a strapless dress and a push-up bra and go to the prom? And then your little girl's getting, she's under the bleachers doing something she ain't supposed to be doing, right? So Blue Ivy can wear that and she could be protected, right? Because her parents could be saying, oh, this is just an image thing, but we're going to protect you at all costs, because they have the resources available to do that. But then when it comes to all these other people, okay, well, now your daughter's wilding out because of something that she saw. And so that's why you have to be careful with the content that you consume and that you let your children consume as well.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
that's
you
like,
already know the beat. Oh,
go ahead.
go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, that's just like a similar thing with when it comes to like Beyonce and her music, is like she'll put out music and things into the culture that aren't that great for the culture, and it'll affect the people listening to it more than it'll affect her making it and putting the music out.
Yeah, and sometimes she's doing the opposite of what she's saying in her music.
Right.
It's really weird because Beyonce has some of the most uplifting and empowering songs. And then she has, I mean, she's got a mix of like everything. Like, I guess that's why she's so well received, because in a way, everybody can relate to her in a certain song, in a certain way, or a certain album. Which I think that's why she keeps making different albums, like country album or a dance album, where the dance album is targeted more for the LGBTQ community, and then the country album, I guess, was supposed to be targeted for, I don't know, I guess more white people, I guess, but I'm not sure. I think all the black people just listen to it anyway. And plus, like, the album wasn't really that country, to be honest with you. Like, it had some country sounding songs on there, but it wasn't country as a whole.
When y'all talking about the parents and everything, because looking up the Beehive, baby, that's their Jesus child, okay? They finna ride for her. Don't let you say nothing. They putting bees on your comments or anything. I'm on Facebook. I posted something about Beyonce, and I don't hate her or anything. I just didn't agree with something. And this boy on Facebook caught himself putting a bee above me emoji under my post. I said, boy, bye. Please. You could get blocked. Please, bye. You know? And it's like these parents, I'm pretty sure, would easily give into that. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure maybe for Halloween, they might redo it and have their daughters out here looking like her too, you know? And I mean, I'm not a parent, so I don't want to judge too much, but people are very, very easily influenced. And it's not my Jesus. Amen. So, yeah.
They are. Mm-hmm. They are. Because degree, a lot of people, because the word is written on our hearts, right? And so when we see things like that, we know that there's something about it that isn't quite right, but we can't put our finger on it. We can't attribute it back to anything, because we don't have that biblical foundation as a culture, right? But then, of course, you have a 12-year-old daughter. She's like, well, mom, she's 12 and you love Beyonce, so why is it wrong? And you start thinking, you're like, well, logically, yeah, that makes sense. So I guess why not her? Why can't she dress like that? But of course, you're uncomfortable with it, but you have, again, nothing to contribute it to why you're uncomfortable with it. And so you go along with it. And so now you're going against your better judgment. And now you're basically doing things outside of your value system, because your values aren't rooted in anything. And now, like, you don't know what to do. And now you continue to have that trickle down to different things. And now you got these consequences where people are looking at your daughter in that way. Now your daughter is getting to an adult situation, and people don't realize, like, clothing is protection. Clothing, again, is that signal of what is currently at work right now in this stage of life that you are in. And so with that, a lot of times, like, I remember being younger sometimes, and like, you know, I would try to dress a certain way, try to dress a little older sometimes, and I would get attention from certain men, and that would make me uncomfortable. And I would realize, you know what, I shouldn't do that. And I took it upon myself not to do it, just because, again, the word is written on your hearts, and at the end of the day, you know who you are in Christ, and you have that foundation. And so thinking about that, it's like you kind of want to draw back on what you're able to handle, because you're not ready for that type of attention.
Choose your master. Again, it's like, who are you serving? Like, these people, they'll feel that uncomfortability, but then it comes down to, okay, like, am I really serving God and trying to strive for what the biblical ethic would be or ought to be? Or do I really just want to be like Beyonce? Do I really just want to, you know, try to emulate her lifestyle because I think she's so great and I think she's so grand, and she's married and she has these kids and she's so famous and popular and well respected, and so you have to wrestle with that. And so it's like, in that moment, you're literally practically choosing your master. It's like, do I let my child succumb to what she sees, or do I steer them on the right path, thus steering myself on the right path of, hey, yes, yeah, Beyonce is doing that, but this is what is best for you. This is what's best for us, and this is why, right? Because, yeah, sure, kid might be upset for a day, but then as they mature through life and understand the world better, they'll probably come back and be like, you know what? You know, my mom or my dad, my parents saved me from a lot of heartache and unnecessary strife that I could have dealt with in my life because they kept me on this right path. They reared me well rather than letting me just do as I, felt, succumb to my feelings and what I want to do, because children don't know what they want to do. They're trying to figure it out. And that's why you have to constantly be there to nudge them back on the right path, right? Like a child will run into the road and you got to keep telling them, no, don't run into the road. You don't wait till they get hit by a car before you're like, don't run into the road. But their feelings might say, oh, no, I just want to go run in the road, play in the road, or chase after the ball. You got to be like, no, don't do that, right? Because I want you here tomorrow, right? I love you. And because I love you, I'm going to discipline you in a way that is going to set you on the right path.
Well said.
I can just remember going back to even like middle school and high school, more so high school. Middle school I was on my own vibe, but I remember I would see other girls. I would see other girls and how they dress, and I was like, I don't dress like that. My parents like, absolutely not. And I remember I was so pissed. I was like, that's not fair. Da 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 da. Tanya and I were like, girl, I don't care. You're not to walk out that house, have look crazy. And it even goes back to makeup. I know me and Kenya, I remember, I think Kenya, your mom made you wait till 10th grade, but I know how until I was 16 wear makeup. And I did not comprehend it,
Yeah.
These girls look so cute, da, 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 and everything. I'm like, I want to look cute too. And like, even I just started wearing lashes. I'm going to be 28, And I just thank God every day our parents kept me, I was so upset, but I'm not trying to be rude, but some of those same girls, not to be judgy, who got to wear makeup at an early age in middle school, wearing lipstick and mascara, they cannot walk out of the house with wearing a full face of makeup. And not to be judgmental, everyone has self-esteem issues, but it's like that's what happens a lot of times when you allow, not even girls, just kids, just to have whatever they want at a younger age. And I just thank God every day that our parents had some common sense, and did not let me wear whatever the heck I wanted to wear at freaking 14, 15 years old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
Back to the cultural language, what miracle, that phrase you brought up earlier. I love that phrase. I'm going to have to use that now. But yeah, what is that communicating when all you have on is makeup? It's like you're masking yourself. You're hiding behind something, right? Because you don't like your physical appearance, or you're afraid to show who you truly are to the world. And if you do that continuously every single day, you eventually wipe away the fabric of who you are, right? And you have to be restored back to that by, through, like, Jesus has to pull you back from that with hopefully the help of people that are guiding you back towards where you need to be headed towards. But yeah, a lot of times with, those women, it's a result of them to hide behind a mask, which is thus withering away their soul day by day until they become the mask rather than who they were. And, boys and guys deal with it in their own ways, but obviously we're talking about females in this sense. But yeah, it's something that is a human struggle, and I think it still goes back to like, what master are you serving? Who are you choosing to wake up to and serve every single day?
There was something I was listening to a while ago, and it was like they were saying if you let your daughter wear a mini skirt at 12, 13, 14, what do you think they're going to wear at 18? Because it only gets like shorter from there. And I was like, ooh, that's good.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. I didn't even consider a mini skirt until about a year ago. And even then I was like, this is really short. Like,
No.
how do y'all? And I tried to wear it out a couple times, and I'm like, yo, I feel like my whole everything is out. I can't do it. I can't do it.
I think I considered it in like college or something, and I was like, nah, this is too short for me. But yeah. But I guess at that, does anyone else have any final thoughts before I get into the faithful take? Okay, we can get into that. All right, so to sum everything up, I think it's important to allow kids to dress as kids and mothers to be the example of virtue, modesty, and femininity. There's a time to dress as a girl and a time to dress as a woman. What do y'all think of that?
Yeah, it's like
I love that.
You got to put things into their proper context. It goes back to that, verse in Ecclesiastes when it's, running down the list of there's a time for everything, there's a season for everything, there's even a time for life and there's a time for death. So going through life and applying that to, our cultural context of today, it's how do we put things in the proper order? There's obviously a time to, in a space for women to, let me find this out really quick. Basically, women have a duty and a responsibility to pass on, virtues and values to their daughters, or to their kids, but specifically their daughters, because they were once a daughter, and to set them on a righteous path, but also a better path than where they came from as well. And so a lot of women want to be friends with their daughters. And I think sometimes that leads to more harm than good, because while the child feels better, they don't mature in the proper way. And that's because you didn't take the time to, establish that proper order in the relationship.
Mm-hmm. And Josh, you said something. You said order. The thing is, though, a lot of people are not using order. That's the thing. We live in a society where it's like, and I hate to say it, good God, I'm so glad the Lord delivered me from this, but we live in a society, and especially in our culture, where it's like the women want to sit here and, sounds crazy, like be in control, or overpower the man, when not in the Lord, not holding my text the wrong way, but it's like the Bible specifies how it's like the man has a role and the woman, and then the kids and everything, but people don't want to follow order anymore. They just want to sit here and do what they want to do. Want the wife in the household, or the kids in the household, or the grandma. And so it's just like, until people really honestly come to Christ and follow how the Lord wants them to do, folks want to stay a hot mess. It's crazy.
That's true. Mm-hmm. Nothing but the truth.
Yeah. We can go into the verse, even though, you already touched on it a little bit. Which is Ecclesiastes 3:1. There's an appointed time for everything. Just as Josh mentioned.
Yeah, I actually didn't even know that was a verse.
Come on, Holy Spirit.